さて、チーム8番目、渋谷教育学園幕張高等学校今西はなさんのプレゼンテーションです。JK Health Book。
タイマーってどこにありますか？あ、わかりました。ありがとうございます。So I want everyone here in the audience today to think back for a quick second. What was the last dream you had? By dream, I don't mean the one you see in your sleep. I mean the one where you go, yes, I want to achieve that. Yes, I'm going to be like that. What was the last dream you had? I want you to dig it out of your brain. And when you do, I know you're all strangers, but I want you to whisper what your dream was with the person sitting next to you. The judges too, please. What was your dream? Okay, so I want you to keep your dream and your neighbor's dream in your pocket until the end of the presentation. Now, my dream was to become a soccer player. Since the age of 6 until I was over 16, 10 years I dreamed of becoming the greatest soccer player in Japan who could lead the national team back to victory once again in the World Cup. But that dream came to an end. Last year on Christmas night, I was diagnosed with lumbar spondylosis and a couple of fractures in both my hip and spine. I was stopped from playing any kind of sport for at least 7 months, and I couldn't even climb the stairs. I was heartbroken. I just didn't know what to do. I was irritated, but above everything else, I just had to face the reality that playing soccer wasn't going to be safe for my body anymore. But after a few months, I started to move on, and my next mission wasn't only to find myself a new dream, but it was also to find myself a way to keep fit and slim without exercising. And so I started to search frantically all over the internet. And these were the results that I got. Apparently, you weren't supposed to eat anything, and you were supposed to take these supplements. But do you think that would keep me healthy? Yes or no? It's an easy no, because it would lead to severe conditions of eating disorder, irregular menstruation, malnutrition, and these health problems can lead to another set of health problems. Moreover, data shows that over 97% of high schoolers in Japan have access to the internet. That means that 97% of high schoolers have a chance of falling for these articles, and 97% of high schoolers have a chance of falling into the pits of having these health problems. Do you have any idea what this number is? 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 is the number of women who suffer from some kind of eating disorder at some point in their lives. More than you thought, right? I didn't want anyone falling into the same situation as I did of not being able to do what they loved because of a health problem. And this is exactly why I started this project, the JK Health Book. The JK Health Book is a website for teenage girls who want to know more about how to diet without not eating anything, with a more safe and healthy method. I'm going to tell you how I did it. First, I took a survey to know what high school students wanted to know about dieting. Then, I contacted over 50 people, including doctors, university professors, professional trainers, nutritionists. And these people, I asked them if they could answer the questions that I gathered in the survey. Then, with a group of students, regardless of school and age, I went to interview over 20 people who agreed to volunteer and cooperate. Then, based on those interviews, we made articles and posted it on my original website, the JK Health Book. And this is what the top page looks like. The articles are divided into mainly 4 sections: food, sleep, sport, and columns. I'm going to talk about the first 3 first. In the first 3 sections, food, exercise, and sleep, There are articles that explain to you how you should sleep, exercise, and eat in order to maintain a healthy body whilst dieting. Now, can you raise your hand if you don't like to exercise? There's articles for you. Can you raise your hand if you like to exercise? There's also articles for you. There's articles for people who are obese, and there's articles for people who just want to lose a few kilograms. So like this, I made sure that this website could help as many people as possible by making articles that were aimed at different kinds of people. Now, this is what an article page looks like. I made sure that the readers were able to know who I interviewed in order to make this article by posting this right part. Now, for the fourth section is the column section. And in this section, all the articles are from interviews with women who have actually had the experience of having an eating disorder. And the goal of this section is not only to educate teenagers about having an eating disorder, but it's also to familiarize the idea of having an eating disorder. Because I'm sure most of you in this room think that having an eating disorder is something from another world. But it's not. It's from this world, and it can happen to every single one of you. And I would also like to note that when one teenager learns how to keep himself or herself healthy, it is bound to keep his or her future partner and his or her future family healthy. So on October 1st, my website, the JK Health Book, will be launching. Please check it out, both girls and boys in this room today and all the audience here, because I promise you a bunch of things that you never knew before. Now, I want you to pull out your memory of your dream and your neighbor's dream. Do you still remember from the beginning of the presentation? Can you raise your hand if your dream was something that was achievable without a healthy body? Can you raise your hand if your neighbor's dream was something that was achievable without a healthy body? You can look around. But see, we all tend to forget, but having a healthy body is the most basic but important part when it comes to realizing dreams, when it comes to challenging yourself, when it comes to achieving your goals. And I hope that my website, the JK Health Book, can somehow be a help to other teenagers, and not only teenagers, but the audience here today and the judges, that they will be able to pursue their dreams as well. Thank you.
ありがとうございました。それではジャッジの皆さん、質問どうぞ。はい。
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation, and I really like the idea of making this JK Health Book, so a new website, and I think it would be very, very useful for high school students in the future. And at the same time, I think in the world, many high school students or many young people are suffering from the same kind of issue problems. But I think it would be important to share this kind of website in the world, which can be very meaningful for other young people. Is there any ideas so you'd like to bring about changes even in the world in the future?
Yes, so currently it's only in Japanese, and I didn't make this website by myself. Around 30 other students helped me. And although we are planning to make this public here in Japan, after about 6 months, if there isn't any problem with it, we are planning to translate it into English, and also so that English speakers can also view it. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, very nice presentation. You asked us what our dreams were, so I'm going to ask you, what's your dream?
I would say that I don't really, I think you're asking, I don't really have this dream job like working in the UN. I don't really have that kind of thing right now. But what I am interested in is food politics concerning meat consumption here in Japan. So one of my goals would be reducing meat consumption, especially beef here in Japan. But just a simple dream is owning a farm when I grow older. Yeah.
素晴らしい。はい、ゆうしけん先生どうぞ。
One very simple question. What
Yes.
does JK stand for?
あれ、先生知らない？
女子高生。Thank you.
Thank you.
それかなり有名ですよ。はい。ねえ。今ちょっとはい。頑張ってください。はい、ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。